today. So, what do you think about all these abbreviations?
Do you know them?
Do you know them? Yeah. And most importantly, I would like to ask you.
Oh, the CEO. And the
CEO,
PLC.
okay.
And PLC. And PLC.
What is the difference between two questions? The first question is, what does it stand for? The second is, what does it mean?
Careful.
What does it stand for? Maybe. What does this abbreviation mean? And what does each letter in this abbreviation stand for?
Not even mean what does it stand for? What it replaces?
Yes, I don't stand for. I don't want to understand
what does it stand for?
UNO stands for United Nations Organization. Да? Ну, очень часто в последнее время моих личных студентов спрашивают на интервью, особенно в нормальных международных компаниях, да, ну, скажи мне, что вот это вот значит. Можно сказать, it stands for example, test-driven development, да, или I don't know what does it stand for, I don't remember, but it means, и начинаете рассказывать, что является данными принципами.
So if you know what it is, tell, okay, I'm not sure about what it stands for, but it means, and you explain.
Да. То есть вы даете определение, да, термин, как вы это понимаете, what it means, а stands for, как расшифровывается. TLD это что?
Maybe test
last.
Test last development.
Да, test last development. Two different principles of development product according to can be used both in Scrum and waterfall methodology, doesn't matter.
You choose
BDD.
the one that suits you better.
BDD. What's that? Who knows? Behavior, either business-driven development.
So either behavior or business, both abbreviations are coded here.
Basically, at first here we create a test, then we conduct the code, and etc. Here we do the usual waterfall model, we create the product, and then we test it, etc. Here we analyze the business needs of our product or behavior of our future customer. And only after we start conducting the development. And we write our code according to the possible behavior of the person who will use the program. CRM.
The customer related management.
Yes, customer relationship management. Good. M&A is not about programming, it's about business.
In general, M&A.
Something about analysis.
No.
When companies either buy another company or come together.
Merger and acquisitions.
Acquisitions.
What's the difference between merger and acquisition?
Merger and acquisition.
Merge is on the equal rights, and acquisition is one company became the main company.
Taking over.
It's about takeover.
Takeover. Keep in mind that in documents they will never write takeover. They will write acquisition. Whether it was legal, illegal, good, bad, it's an acquisition. We acquired, we bought, we merged, we brought together. I remember one, Financial Times cartoon, and two companies together, you know, like Microsoft and I think it was Lenovo or something like that. Nokia, you're right, absolutely. And they were writing like, merger, are you sure? Meaning one is big and one is small, and you're like, are you sure it can be a merger? Because then they should be equal, and then they both should stay in the name. То есть, если это real and true, it should be either different name for both, or two names written with a hyphen. Yeah.
DBMS, we are getting back to programming. Oracle, MySQL, yes, database management system. Good. DBMS, CTO.
It's a position in the company. It's a position.
Yeah, technical. Chief Technical Officer.
It's always that, because it's top positions are always that. Managerial positions are always that.
What does CTO do?
What is the task? What is the duty?
Technical.
Yes.
Technical officer.
In the project or in the company?
Technical lead.
Это лид, да, это тот лид, который выше Project Architect, а тот выше, который тег лида. То есть не во всех компаниях это есть, но вот там, например, IBM, Google и так далее, у них CTO есть. То есть в компаниях поменьше там или просто тег лид или Project Architect, а это вот уже крупнейшие варианты, когда у нас есть CTO, или CTO может быть на проекте. Вот в разработке там главный среди всех разработчиков может быть один.
It's usually big companies.
Чаще всего, да, чаще всего это именно директор по разработке, который будет смотреть за работой тех же project архитекторов и так далее. CEO, понятно?
It's for all companies or the chief executive officer. It's basically it's director, not necessarily the owner. It's director or president sometimes of the company, because executives are always the executives. So someone who has the right of signing. Chief financial officer, chief executive officer.
PLC.
It is a public company.
No.
Not.
PLC, it's a different PLC here.
Yeah. Project life cycle.
Project life.
Yeah, it's a basic question everybody asks to, I don't know, junior or regular specialist. So, who can describe a general project life cycle? What do we
My
have?
project
Stages.
management is not like European. Mine is much simpler.
It's not,
Yeah,
not
I
but
don't use
any project, it doesn't matter whether you create a mobile application or you write a book. So what is
it's
the
universal.
life cycle of,
It's
yeah,
universal.
it's
For any product.
economical terminology that exists. So what is the project life cycle? What do you have first?
You can say product
Idea.
life cycle as
Yeah.
well, just to make it simpler.
Idea, idea, then
Concept.
The same idea and concept are
Prototype. Maybe prototype.
What?
before prototype, what do you need?
True.
Requirements.
requirements. Требования, requirements, not demands. Demands это наши, дайте нам
At
зарплату,
first is
пусть
idea, then requirements, then prototype. In good companies, especially in web development, prototype is a must. But sometimes we just develop it. It depends. What do we have next after prototyping?
Give it team.
Development.
Development.
Development, testing, and afterwards. Разработали и забыли.
Development support.
Support, yeah.
Support.
So it can be really different from I don't know, medical stuff, books, IT. Everything has the same pattern, basically. What does OOP stand for?
Just keep in mind, when you pronounce it, it's like in the alphabet. Don't ever think about how you pronounce it. It should be always
BMW.
Object-oriented programming.
Object-oriented programming, and the next one, who knows? Developers. Solid are principles for object-oriented programming,
Yes,
especially for, I don't know, constant languages like Java or C#. ROI. ROI. Да, возврат инвестиций.
вот,
Все правильно.
Return on investment, we just have on, otherwise it will look bad.
Return on investment. Хорошо.
Because that's the whole point, you know it, and when you're faced with the question, you're like, what? What's that Chinese? That's what I was saying. They cannot test you in Russian, they cannot dig deep, they don't have time for it.
My best friend, she's senior automation QA, PM, team lead. Now she works in Canada as vice CEO of one development company, and she asks only 2 questions in the interview. The first one, what platform do you use? And the second one is project life cycle.
And then you're like, what are you talking about?
People are ready for, I don't know, logical tasks, technical interviews, whatever. But if you ask 2 multiply 2, you can just simply forget that this is 4. So
Because the word platform sounds terrible, but the word Windows sounds good,
yeah,
you know, and Linux sounds also very good, but that's the platform you use. just for you to get the idea.
R&D.
Research and development.
Yeah. R&D department. Okay.
By the way, our R&D department clients can be everywhere, beginning from food corporations to cosmo corporations, because for them, research development is a very wide term, extremely wide. It can be a formula or a building. It doesn't really matter. So research and development can be found absolutely everywhere, as long as you have any type of project or a product. Yeah.
Okay, all other things are simply positions. So business analyst, quality assurance engineer, product or project manager. PA can be both project architect and personal assistant. Personal assistant is a secretary for director.
But keep in mind, it's always assistant to the director, because we assist to something. It's always assistant to the director. The reason I'm talking about it, because sometimes when they say assistant manager without to, it means a deputy. It means somebody who can replace this person.
Yeah,
it's like vice something. It's a very big difference. So you assist to the director as a secretary, and that's one type. It's a secretarial position. But then if you're assistant manager or assistant director or something without to, you are second person after your vice.
Assistant manager and account manager, they sound very
Similar.
typing the same.
Not exactly. Account manager deals with key clients. You see,
Yes,
account
I
manager.
know about it, but пишется как?
Oh,
AM.
yes, AM, absolutely. But you should know about the company you're talking about.
Всегда надо уточнять, потому что, особенно в американском английском, всегда уточняйте, с кем вы будете разговаривать. Потому что Пэм, это может быть он, может быть она. А может быть вообще, всегда спросите, лучше лишний раз. I don't know, a room in hotel, a meeting with CEO, whatever, and we don't know whom we are writing to. It would be the same, dear, sir,
Or
or madam.
And we don't say whether they are married, not married. Again, we are not sure.
We don't know who is here.
And
Mr. Smith, whatever.
this is the exact way that you should write.
Yes.
If you don't
Both for letters and emails, it doesn't matter.
There's
And if you start something very, very official, for example, a reference, you're writing a reference to your colleague, not a LinkedIn, but a reference letter on official blank, you write to whom it might concern.
Or may concern. Might or may. Both are okay. To whom
So,
it may or to whom it might concern. Maybe it's a team of people, not one person.
Really, you don't know where this piece of paper will be taken to. To the boss, to the friend, to
the owner,
ministry, whoever, or whatever.
To whom it may or might concern. Both are fun. Like can and could. It's okay. Concern.
And then you continue like a usual letter. I would like to recommend you my colleague or ex-colleague, whatever. He is a good person. But these are totally fine variants. If you don't know the exact name, or you don't know the exact possible person, this can be given to.
So basically, you are being nice anyway, and you are not trying to guess because you don't know.